Good morning, tubers. It's about 7:15. We're about 76 in the garage. And I haven't even opened the garage door yet. I'm not going to. Got a few things to take care of before we get going today. This dried out real nice. I want to thank everybody for the suggestions on that. I'm thinking of running down to McFadden-Dale and finding a couple of thin washers to put over the nutserts before I crimp them into place. So we'll see on that. And that's about it. We'll be working on the right side today, finishing up getting the nutserts in here, then drilling the holes to mount this bracket. And going from there. Then we'll have to drill the four. I have one drilled already, but the 4 rod holes to go down there and put those. So that's where we're at today. When I have more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey, tubers. I decided to go down to McFadden-Dale. Turn the radio down. And look for some washers for the nut plates, or for the nutserts. So we're in the wife's car. We don't like to put mileage on my car. And we'll be heading down there. And when I have more on the journey, I'll turn you back on later. Hey guys, we just turned east, and right in there is where Kenny lives. Street Rider, or Rodderfiles. Rodderfiles. I can't talk. Okay. I've got a little bit more to go down here on this before we get there. More in a minute. Alright guys. We're here at the corner of Russell and Decatur, and McFadden-Dale is over there in that big building. So we'll make a left and we'll be there shortly. Hang on. Alright, we're turning in. Alright, McFadden-Dale starts right there and takes the whole building up. So we'll swing and park this thing. And head on in. More in a minute, guys. Alright guys, that's McFadden-Dale. So yeah, they didn't, they frown on you videoing inside the store, so I did a little bit. I kept my mouth shut, but what we got was we got 5 sheets of 80 grit sandpaper at 85 cents a piece. We got 15 120 grit roll-lock, 2-inch roll-lock wheels at $1.15 a piece. We got 20 3/8 flat washer stainless steel at 13 cents a piece. And we got 20 3/8 flat washer grade 8 at 10 cents a piece. And spent a total of $28.25. So now we're headed back to the house. More later. Now we're heading straight west, back on Russell Road. be about 20 minutes and we'll be home again. More in a minute. Still heading west. Over here is a reservoir for when it rains. That you sit there and take care of anything as far as the water overage. And turn the radio down. Still heading west on Russell Road, coming up here to the Beltway. I could get on that, but we won't. We'll keep going on Russell to Wallapai. More in a minute. Later. Alright, we just turned right. We're now heading north on Wallapai. We're about 5 minutes from the house. Got the phone, got the radio going again. Hang on. Yep, they're going crazy with houses again. Building them, that is. Stoplight coming up is Tropicana, and grocery store in the corner is the one we usually frequently visit. And that's going to pretty much sum up your drive for Vegas. Keep the camera in. The mountain range right there is the Spring Mountain Range. Now you can't see it. The highest peak is Mount Charleston, and it's about 12,000 feet. And they still have snow up there. And the mountain range to the north is the Sheephead Mountain Range. And those peaks aren't that high to still have snow. Matter of fact, the other day when we were getting rain down here, they were getting snow up there. So, before I get myself in trouble, that's all I got for now, guys. Hey, tubers, back home. Sorry I didn't do too much videoing inside the store, but they frown upon that. Told one guy one time that they'll ban him from the store for life, and that's the last place I want to be banned from for life. Grade 8 washer, grade 8 washer, stainless steel washer. The nutsert fits better in the grade 8 washer. Don't forget, this is going to be covered up by this. And it does in the stainless steel. But stainless steel will hang over. But we'll see what happens. But that's what we got now. We got to drill holes in both, and we'll figure out what we got. I got 20 of each, stainless steel and the grade 8. So we'll be there. I also just came back. When I came back, I realized I wouldn't have to make another trip down there. So we'll see what else. And that's about it. So I'm going to take care of a few things around the house and get back out here. And when I have more, I'll turn this back on. Oh, the video in the store and on the in the drive home and the drive down was taken on my phone, and this is actually the Sony camera I use for in most of my videos. So we'll see if there's any quality difference. When I have more, I'll turn this back on later. Alright guys, to show you what we did is here's the stainless. And the reason why we use the stainless, if you look, let's compare the two. If you look, stainless is a lot thinner than the grade 8, so we use the stainless on there. But the problem is, it didn't sit there and it settled out. So I couldn't use 2 of them on there, but because of the built-up that I did with the fiberglass. But then we did one without washers, and as you can see, it's perfect just about. I mean, it isn't going anywhere, and it's good. So I think the build-up we did with the mat and everything else worked. So we'll cut this one back out, and we'll do them all without the washers. So I'll use these washers. They're not going to go to waste. So, but just showing you where I'm at on it. When I have more, I'll turn it back on later. All right, tubers. We're all in and set. The only one I'm worried about is that one, but we'll see. If need be, we can pull it back out again and just remat it and do it again. Because it's not really set that well in the back here. All the others you can see are set really good. So, but we'll move on. We'll see if it fails. So, next thing up is, let's get these holes drilled, and then mount this to this. When I have more, I'll turn it back on later. Remember when I said building the second one should go easier and I shouldn't make any mistakes? Well, here's the first mistake on that panel. When I lined up the holes, I did it this way. And they're perfectly lined up and everything else, and they'll work and all this. But the funny thing about it is, it needs to overlap this way. And about 3/8 of this needs to be on that, and the holes need to be here, because the rods will come into here, and we need that space for the ends to come through. So this is mistake number 1. Okay. Now you know why I had Gary make me 4 of these. So we'll take this and grind this down, and then cut it to this. This one could still work because these will be buried by the panel, but and maybe I'll do that, but we'll see. Let me think on this for a minute. When I have more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright, tubers, this is the second coat of mat. We use size about this big. When we flip it over, what we'll do is we'll take rosin and we'll fill the hole, and then we'll put mat on top of it, so then it's like it's starting fresh on a new one. I cut it all down to the vinyl to where it was on the board itself on both sides, and that's why we built it up. This is all new. I mean, I'm trying something for the first time. I didn't know how it was all going to work, and somebody suggested the washers, and hey, sounded good. It worked for him, but as you can see, it didn't work for me out here, so we're good. I'll have more in a minute. Hey, tubers, see the hole? We're going to fill that with rosin, then we'll put glass over it, but I want this to be solid again, so when I get ready to drill for the nutsert, I'm going through new material. I'm not going to use the same hole or go through the same hole. I want it to be solid. So we'll fill that full, and we'll put the cloth over the top of it. First is going to be a bigger piece of cloth, and then another coat will be this, just that small one here to go over the hole. So when I have more, I'll turn it back on later. Hey, tubers, as you can see, I used the same piece. I just put it out and marked it and re-drilled the holes. Chances are from about this portion up is what you're going to see. This will be under the the panel. So that leaves us with this hole that we've refiberglassed to drill. So we'll use this as a template and drill that hole, and then we'll get the nutsert in there, and hopefully this time it holds. So what does they say, the third time's a charm? Need to put that there, and then we'll get this clamped into place. Then what we end up having to do is drill the rest of the holes, 3 more holes in this piece, and then we can start bending wire again, or rod, or whatever you want to call it. It's 3/16 rod. So, and for a side note is, I heard from the graphic arts designer, and he sent me the new t-shirt. I'm not going to show you guys it. I want to get one printed up and show you the actual copy of what it's going to look like. I'm very happy with it. I think that I came up with a good idea, and as a side note, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to trademark this. I'm not going to copyright it. I'm not going to pitch a bitch if somebody else uses it. Matter of fact, the way it's going to go down is that if you want a t-shirt and you really don't want to deal through me, I will give you Pearson Enterprises, their number, and you can talk to Laura direct. And just keep in mind, they aren't in business to make money, so they will charge you a little bit more than what I'm going to charge you, but they will definitely print you a t-shirt and send it off to you. It's another concept that I had talked about with Kenny. Kenny seems to be pretty pissed off at a couple of people in the garage gang on comments that was said, and I'm not going to get involved in that. Again, drama brings subscribers, and I really don't care to get into any drama. The drama's for high schoolers, and we'll leave it at that. And let's see, Dizzy was born in 1969. Well, that's the year I graduated high school, so you can figure out how old I am. So you guys can play with the drama. I just rather deal with the facts in real life and make friends and meet new people and have a good time. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, I should have done this to all of them. What I did when I refiberglassed this is I dug out the naugahyde and everything else and took it down to the cardboard or whatever you want to call this wood on both sides, and then just laid the cloth in and fiberglassed it. But heck, this one's the best one. And when I drilled the hole, as you can see, come on, focus, it was all fiberglass. So yeah, I think I'm not worried about this one anymore. I'm going to put this on, put the panel in, get the holes marked up on that piece and get that in, and then get it all set, and tomorrow we'll start bending up wire. When I have more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, yeah, it's all in. Might build the panel up a little bit here, but she's tight here, and I pushed it as far, something right in here, but that's never mind, it's only frickin' interior. Hide it with black paint. So something like this, you got to remember, this is a little exaggerated. So it's telling me that I'm going to have to take top of this off. So it looks like there's a couple of good welds on there. I think there's a couple of good underneath here. Yeah, I stuck a couple in there. So I think tomorrow we'll get the grinding wheel out and cut this off here and do away with this, because like I said, the first rod's going to come across here like this, 90 over, 90, and come back, and then come over to here, and then the bracket will be at the end 90 up and hooked to here. Second rod will come over underneath, more or less 90 over, and then 90 and tie into here. Third rod, come over, 90 over, and tie into here. And the fourth rod will be the same. There will be a fifth rod that'll tie into the fourth one, but we'll play it. We got to cut this off, and that's going to be pretty much it. So we'll put this up here and start taking measurements. And first we'll cut this off tomorrow, and turn around and then start bending wire. But we won't be at it first thing tomorrow, seeing that May is my birthday month. I get my physical, start my physical tomorrow, and tomorrow's blood work and everything else. So tomorrow at 8:45 I got to be at the doctor, and I start fasting at 8 o'clock tonight. So we're going out to dinner real early, and then coming back. Only water after 8 tonight. And then at 8:45 I go to the doctor's office. They suck some blood out of me. I get to pee in a bottle, and gets to check me out this next Friday. He'll check me out and see if I'm going to live for another year. He does that to me twice a year, in November and in May. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to end the video for today. There's nothing else. I did mention the shirt design is done. Yep, I did it the clip prior. And I won't be starting first thing tomorrow. I did mention that. So I guess I took care of everything. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments. You guys have a good evening. Later.